Welcome to episode 5 of the Southreport. Thanks to everyone who's been jumping on and having a listen to the episodes so far. Turns out teachers can talk a lot. Some of the episodes have been going for over an hour, so I'm now breaking them up into some bite-sized chunks so you can listen to them over a couple of different sittings. Today's has a part A, part B, and part C. I sit down with Year 7 teacher, mentor, coach, dad, and one of life's good blokes, Mr. Anthony Petrie. I hope you enjoy the show as much as I enjoyed interviewing Anthony.
Petrie has a riff by Fabian Hart. You don't see that happen to Petrie too often. He's a strong man, Damien Martin, for a guard. We've spoken about how strong Petrie is. Oh, Petrie's a man. And that's what I'm saying. You don't see that happen.
No. All right, Peach. So you have come up a lot. Your name's come up a lot for this. So this is you're going to be landing as episode number 6 for the Southreport. So the boys and the staff speak very highly of you. So the beauty of a podcast is we can go anywhere. Mm-hmm. So I suppose the first thing we need to go is all the way back to the very start. So let's talk about possibly your first memory or memories back in Tenterfield growing up. Where did it all start for Anthony Petrie?
Well, we lived in northern New South Wales, so a little village in Deepwater of 270 people. So I lived there till I was 7. So I went to a school of about 40 kids. So I was in combined classes, kindergarten to year 2. So I actually did my first year of school with my middle brother. So I'm the youngest of 3 boys. And then we sort of were there, and then mum and dad had work in Tenterfield, so which is half an hour north up the road in a big metropolis of 3,000 people. So we moved. We moved to Tenterfield when I was 7. So I started grade 2 at Tenterfield Primary School, and then went through Tenterfield Primary, and then continued my journey at Tenterfield High School till the end of year 12. So basic existence, grew up sort of 5 minutes out of town at Tenterfield on 20 acres, and then our farm, the boys here at TSS call it a hobby farm, of 1,500 acres, was about half an hour away from there. So I just honestly had that quintessential Aussie country kid lifestyle growing up.
And loved it, no doubt. So you're a year 7 teacher here. What kind of students, Peach, in grade 7?
What do we get? We get an interesting mix, but I feel like we're the important part of it because we are the first touch point for the parents and the boys. So it's such an eclectic mix, which I actually love. I think Mendo sometimes laughs and calls it surf and turf because we get our coast kids, our local kids that have been from the prep school, or we get the kids from around other schools on the Gold Coast, and then we get a great mix of our boarders. So you get your 40-odd boys in Rogers, and some of them are sitting in a classroom for the first time. Yeah. So I actually just enjoy that experience of somehow trying to bring that together in year 7, which is critically important to get them to understand where everyone's from, essentially. Absolutely. And then what TSS sort of looks like. So we've just been through term 1. I forget every year, though. Yeah. When year 7s leave, I forget where you start.
You got to start again.
Until they go again.
Absolutely.
So, it's a really interesting and tough role, but I actually love it. It's like my eighth year in year 7.
It's gone quick.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll turn the tables. What kind of student is Anthony Petrie when he's sitting behind the desk? If year 7 would have been primary school back in Deepwater or back in Tenterfield.
Yeah.
What kind of student were you?
I was the one that got the report card that said Anthony could, if he would just concentrate a little bit more.
A lot of potential.
I think I've still got a handwritten note from Mr. Newman, was my year 6 teacher.
There you go.
Yep.
Wow.
And I kept it. He was a wonderful teacher, and he told me, now remember, this is Tenterfield. I'm not, so I'm coming from a long way back. But he said, you have the potential to be the Ducks of the school if, and the key word if. So I liked school, I enjoyed it, but I would say easily distracted. Yeah. Sometimes look out the window.
Okay.
Wish there was a game of sport going on.
Sure.
But by the end of it, sort of found my way in the classroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if people listening to this who don't know Peach, him and his brothers are very, very tall. So you talked about outside the classroom. Where was your first love of sport? What was it? Was it Athletics, you end up, we'll talk about basketball. As I said in the podcast, you can go anywhere, but let's go all the way back to your sport outside the classroom. What were you playing? What were you doing as a kid?
Yeah, I just remember, I think in Deepwater and Tenterfields, like sport is community.
Yeah.
So every Saturday, it just felt like the farmers, whoever would just come in from around the district and just, it was like the whole town met.
Yeah.
And you were just a little kid on the sidelines watching dad play cricket.
Yeah.
Or watching dad play basketball during the week. And you were just in there and around it, and just all the kids were there. It was just some of my best memories. So, yeah, I mean, I started, my eldest brother's Brent, Damo's my middle brother, and then me. And he started playing rugby league at 6 and under 8s. And the bus used to drive from Tenterfield through Deepwater, pick him up, take him down northern New South Wales. And I used to just lose my mind. Dad, I couldn't play, all the rest of it, and carry on. So mum and dad actually had to get a special, even back in the 80s, a dispensation that I could play under 8s as a 4-year-old.
Yeah, right.
So I played 3.5 years of under 8s rugby league as a kid because I loved it. So, yeah, when I was 4 and 5 years old, started rugby league and cricket, and then athletics,
Wow.
and did those, and then started basketball when I was about, I think I was about 9. Jeff and Helen Cook ran the association, and we used to have mini league rugby league on a Saturday morning, and basketball in town was a Saturday arvo. And Dad said, "Why don't you just go down and try basketball?" And we went berserk.
Yeah.
Like, I actually got upset, started crying, don't want to go, I hate it, I don't like basketball. And he said, "Just come in." And anyway, they took me down to the Memorial Hall, and I remember making my first basket when it went in. And I don't know, it's like instantly sort of fell in love with that too. So, yeah, just typical kid. Cricket, athletics in the summer, and then basketball and rugby league in the winter, all the way through till the end of year 12.
The way, so mixed lots of different sports. I read a book called Range, meaning kids should play lots of different sports. Don't get caught into the trap of just specialise. You did lots of different sports. Were you a big kid?
Not initially. The Petrie male is a 5'11", 6 foot sort of stocky build.
Yeah, right.
And all my uncles were about the same, and Dad's dad was the same, and Dad's mum was tiny. She was 5'2", I reckon, at best. But on her side of the family, McMillan Smith's side, big men and Dad. And Dad came along, and Dad was 6'9".
Yeah.
Huge. Like, I never grew to Dad's height. But, yeah, I was pretty normal. And then I sort of, in about year 7, all my athletics, because I was huge in my athletics, everything sort of stayed the same from about 7 to year 9. I thought, I might actually be done with the growth. I might be one of the Petries. And then, sort of year 9 into year 10, I grew like 5 inches.
Wow.
And then grew periodically till my first year of uni.
And so what are you now?
6, 8.
6, 8.
I think I'm going down, though.
Yeah, I think we're all going down, mate. Yeah, I know. And the kids are getting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned your brothers' names, mum and dad's names?
Peter and Vicky.
Peter and Vicky.
Yeah.
Lessons they instilled in you. You're a man of values. You've got good country upbringing. That resonates in your coaching. It resonates in your teaching. What did Peter and Vicky teach you about life?
Oh, just hard work and discipline, I think. Just the fight to get out and do the best you can do every day. So, and it's no one's problem, but we just didn't come from a lot. I can remember my grandma telling me that if you're part of this family, you'll have to work for the rest of your life. She said, unfortunately. But yeah, Mum and Dad had a couple of sort of sayings that, and I've passed on to my kids, and they kind of laugh. But we were rich, like, with love. I don't know. It wasn't until I got older and spoke to Mum and Dad about having our children and the struggles financially and of life, I didn't realise how poor we were until I spoke to Dad as an adult. But somewhere in that, in the magic of it, Mum and Dad made us feel like I was the richest kid in the world. Like, I honestly thought I had the best life growing up. Mum worked at the school tuck shop for 25 years in primary school. That was her job. So I was the best fed kid. Maybe that's why I grew well. I was the best fed kid at school, and then she'd work at the chemist on a weekend for extra money. Wow. Dad worked at the Rural Lands Protection Board with noxious animals stuff, and then I think nearly routinely every night he would go out and shoot roos for extra money
to the box.
Box. Yeah. To then, and he would go to work at 7 a.m, come home at 4, have a big afternoon tea Mum would make for him, and he would go out anywhere from like 12 a.m. till sometimes 3, 4 in the morning. And he just put it on repeat. Wow. And then he said one day, I think it was Dad that said it, he said, some people are so poor, all they've got is money. Yeah. So, so it's just, I think, to be honest, just discipline and hard work. because I say it to our boys here at school, when we rely on motivation, you're starting to play a dangerous game.
Yeah, very much
so. Can you just get out and be the best version of yourself and stay disciplined?
Yeah.
So I just that, I think just hard work.
Yeah.
That's all I've kind of known.
Yeah. And you chose a couple of good sports, because there's some sports in Australia that your socioeconomic status, you have to have a level of money to get into, but you chose a couple of sports where they're very good levelers, good educators, but good levelers. As long as you can get into that game, you can go anywhere. Basketball being one of them. Cricket's another good one. You know, if you can borrow the pads and get a helmet on and you can play the game, you can get somewhere. So some good country values. People won't know this. We'll talk about basketball, playing for our country. But Australian champion wasn't in basketball. First time Anthony Petrie becomes an Australian champion. Yeah. Talk us through that one.
It was actually high jump. Yeah, so I mean, I started out as athletics. I loved it. I really did. I think, as we were just saying before we started, I just think athletics is really raw.
Yeah.
So I started race. Am I faster than you?
Yeah.
Can I jump higher than you? Can I jump further? I don't know. Something in that. I have never done a sport that has made me churn up as much as athletics. Yeah.
Wow. Before the event.
Morning, and I remember my grandma, back left seat of a car. Grandma had to be in there. She went everywhere to watch me do athletics.
Oh, good.
And she always said, "You're yawning again. You're yawning again, me."
Yeah.
But it used to get me that way. Wow. Yeah, the feeling of still, like when my kids are doing it, when they get out to walk out to start a running race, I weirdly get
Is it the individual nature of it? You felt better in a team environment?
Must be. Yeah, I think it's just that waiting for the gun to go bang. But yeah, I just was sort of started out as a sprinter and did 800s. And I told Dad, I said, if I ever win a bronze medal in 800s, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because there were 2 runners in my age group, mate, I couldn't get him. Couldn't get him. So it wasn't like I could, but I said, and I held on here one day to him, and I thought I'd really die. There's a photo of me going across the line, and I hung on for a bronze in the 800, and I was out. Yeah. And then my first 10 metres in the sprints, I was getting a little bit tall. It was too slow. It was never, make state finals, but never going to.
So no gout.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I watched him run at GPS Athletics. That was just times you're grateful you were there to watch someone.
100%.
Yes, so shot put was my first nationals.
No way. Shot put.
You wouldn't believe that. I went down for the 100 and the long jump, and I was a shocker for missing the board on the long jump. People always think it's your last step of the board. You see parents go, take it back. It's actually the first step. So I found out nothing. Next day I said, we're going. I said to Dad, I'm out. I want to go home to Centrefield. We're in Sydney, 7-hour drive down. He said, mate, look at the hotel.
100%.
Why don't we stay? And, we'll go play putt tonight. And I think he was enjoying being in the bigs, mate.
Of course he was.
Even when you're 11, it's only a 2-kilo ball. So if you've got levers and enough speed in that, you can actually get it somewhere. So my first nationals for New South Wales was up here at QE2, throwing shot put as an 11-year-old.
Can you remember the distance you were throwing back then?
About 11-something metres with a 2-kilo ball. Yeah. So we had a great, we're going down track here, but Terry Butler. Yeah. And this is part of the reason why I'm really passionate about helping young men. Terry Butler had a group of throwers from Wallingar and Tenterfield. Yeah. Just regular kids.
Always making nationals.
State medals or making nationals.
Unbelievable. So he's a person coach and an athlete coach.
Yeah. Incredible man. And would just give up his time for no other reason. Just brilliant. So that was that. But fast forward to next year, I started to find the jumps, like long jump and high jump. I thought, this is better than running 800.
Definitely.
I was like, let me run and jump in the sand, jump on the big mats. And I used to scissor and then started to flop and was okay at it. Again, there's a guy called Graham Clark from Glencoe, just outside of Glen which is an hour from Tenterfield. He had a jumps team of kids from Inverell, Tenterfield, Glen Here we are again. Same thing. He would come into town and he's riding, but just how you are right now, he's a cattle buyer. But he was so far ahead of his time. So with the stuff we were doing,
techniques and technical work.
This is pre-internet. He's not going on YouTube and this. I don't know where. Never asked him. Never thought to ask him. So he took me on. Yeah, and I went from. I think I jumped a metre. I know what I jumped. I jumped a metre 49 at Northwest.
Scissor kick.
No, flop, which is South Coast. I went to him, and then within 2 months, I jumped a metre 60 at Nationals to win my first ever gold for New South Wales at the Nationals.
Well, congratulations.
So, I know we just sort of went everywhere on that, but that was kind of, that's where that started. And I stayed with him high jumping from year 6 till when I finished year 12.
So message is good coach combined with some good natural ability can take a kid
Incredible.
beyond their
And again,
wildest
given his
dreams.
time, he didn't give
Yeah,
$1.
yeah,
Nothing.
nothing.
He just came in to town to teach young men and women
Yeah,
how to do something. And he was passionate about it. And he created life experiences for me that I'm so grateful.
so good. And your dad kept you down there. One night he didn't have to go roost shooting. He could stay and sit there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you become a national champion in high jump and make the nationals in discus. In shot put, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You mentioned your first basketball shot going in. What's your first game of basketball you remember?
Playing at
Actual
the
game.
Memorial Hall.
Memorial Hall. So is that the town hall or is that?
Yeah, it was a hall. Well, they used to play basketball now at Chook Pen at the showground, but honestly, the rafters were so low.
Yeah, right.
And the 3-point line wasn't the right size.
Yeah.
You have to shoot over. Anyway, so they started all this, I guess, charity work to try and raise money to build this new hall, the Memorial Hall. And it is tied in, obviously, with the background of our soldiers. So there's it's twofold, which is a really nice space. And it's just a big, beautiful old timber court. It's actually really nice.
So the floorboards are nice to play on.
Like amazing floor. So, and that was it. It was playing that Saturday afternoon. And then I can just remember we'd go away and play in Armidale or wherever Glen Ennis, like mini league, rugby league in the mornings, jump in the LV or Commodore. Mum and Dad fly back to Tenterfield, having dirty knees, whatever, slide the footy socks off, put on the basketball shoes,
straight in,
and play of an afternoon. So it was just playing in my own little community in Tenterfield. Yeah.
You remember that first game?
Yeah. It was mixed, boys and girls. Yep. Because basketball was fledgling sport, like in country town.
Yeah.
In the younger age groups, we played mixed boys and girls in the same team.
So you were 4 playing under 8s league. Mm-hmm. What was the divisions for basketball?
They tried to keep it that way.
Yeah.
But then when I went in, so I was 9 when I started, but by when I was in year 6, it was all boys.
Yeah.
And by year 6, I was playing against boys in year 12.
So
it was just open boys.
Right. So open boys. So you're playing against some big boppers.
Playing 17, 18, but I was just boys in town because I was 11 in year 6. But we're starting to really, again, fall in love with basketball. And we had a barn at home just out of town, and Dad put a ring up inside the barn. I thought I had my own.
Thought it was heaven.
I thought I had my own basketball ring. So we would watch NBA action, NBL fast break on a Saturday morning. They were the only resources we had. We VCR. Our auntie gave us a VCR, so we'd record the episode.
So for the boys listening, this a VCR is an old tape. Like you didn't. It's not in the cloud. This isn't tape.
No, hard copy. Record it, and then we would just fast forward, rewind, watch all the guys.
Learn the skills.
He's put him between his legs, or he's behind the back, and he's doing. And then we would just go practice.
Yeah.
Well, just try and recreate it.
Any names stand out from watching back then in the day? Any people you remember?
Like, I mean, NBL wise, like Andrew Gaze, obviously. Leonard Copeland, Dwight McLean. I was a big Sydney Kings fan.
All right.
Kid, Damien Keogh, Tim Morrissey, like all these guys.
You know them all.
Yeah, but NBA was, I mean, I feel like when there's a great book called Boom, and it was about when basketball exploded in Australia.
Yeah.
And that coincided with NBA. And I mean, it's my
Jordan.
It's Jordan. We came through that.
Yeah.
Just that era of the Chicago Bulls. And he was
dominant.
He was just he's still the guy for me. I think he, out of any sportsman ever, looks the best playing his sport.
He had more time than any other player in any other sport. Yeah. Totally agree with you.
Usain Bolt is very close for me. Yeah. Watching someone do their own craft. Yeah. But I know I'm probably a little bit biased, but Michael Jordan playing basketball is like it was meant to be.
I don't think you'll have too many people argue with that. So for a kid in Tenterfield, the NBL and the NBA are just a pipe dream.
Yeah.
What did you learn as an 11-year-old playing against a 17-year-old? Because that's intimidating. You talked about just before you did the high jump, you're yawning and nervous. Surely you're packing it. 11-year-old playing 17-year-olds. What'd you learn?
I think that I learned that I was out of my depth, that I felt really uncomfortable.
Were you okay with that, or was that?
Yeah, and my dad was always like, if I didn't think you could handle it, I wouldn't let you do it.
Exactly.
It was like when he let me play first grade. You couldn't play first grade rugby league in Queensland until you turned 17. This is bush footy back then. No 4 cameras. And I debuted on my birthday, June 3rd, against Inglewood. And I just went, I look back now and I thought, What was Dad
What was he
thinking?
thinking?
He said, "But you can handle it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let you do it."
Wow.
So yeah, what it did was it just kind of put me back in my box a little bit too. Of one, the presence of a physical being of a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
So you could have skill.
100%.
Once the physical wear down happens, it's hard to
Only
access
goes
the
so
skill.
far. Exactly.
So then you start thinking the game.
Yeah.
So it actually forced me as a young guy to actually start thinking about, well, how do I actually pull this game apart a little bit? Where can I find success?
Yeah.
What can I do? So it probably accelerated my actual thinking
Yeah.
of the game, as opposed to just if I was in Tenterfield, sort of kids, basketball was a new sport there and was just going out and trying to dominate through athleticism or whatever. Maybe not. So at that level, it was perfect. And the other thing I learned was how good the old fellas were to me. Like the 16, 17-year-olds, like they were unreal. They were so good. Like they were so encouraging of me and sort of going, maybe seeing something in me and then actually celebrating it.
That's
not doing it the other way.
Exactly. Can happen very easily if not managed well.
Yeah.
Any 17-year-olds names you remember that stood out?
Oh, yeah, there was heaps. Like it was more, that was sort of like my brothers. So my eldest brother.
Eldest brother, yeah.
Yeah, that was up around his age group. But yeah, there was guys out like Andrew McKenzie and Matt Campbell and all these guys that it's funny where your boundaries are in life. So I would watch them play basketball. We're talking Tenterfield here, nowhere else. And I just, like Chris Smith, same thing. I thought they were superstars.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then I'd watch men's comp during the week. And I thought Dad was like a superstar.
That's a whole nother level.
Cooper, Tony Hickey, all these guys. I was just wanted to be them. I was like, I can't wait till I'm that. Never thought, didn't look too far past it until we went to, like, Tenterfield Junior Basketball organised a bus trip to Boondall. And we went and watched the Melbourne Tigers play the Brisbane Bullets.
Wow.
And then my dad organised in 1992 us to watch the Gold Coast Rollers play the Sydney Kings over at Old Carrara.
Yeah.
Touchpoint, Brendan Legasek, old director of basketball.
He's playing.
Son, old boy, was playing in that game. And then when I seen that,
yes,
I was like, that.
So instead of Wednesday night in the hall, it's now.
It went to that.
Can't see it, can't be it.
What is this?
Yeah.
This arena's just packed.
Yeah.
12,000 people in here.
Yeah.
Live brass band. I was just like, where am I? Watching Andrew Gaze for the first time, Leonard Copeland, Mark Bradkey. Just was honestly, I can remember sitting there and driving home on that bus and just thinking, that's peak life.
So was the seed planted right then? I want to do that. Or was it, I'm not good enough to do that?
I don't know if about not good enough. I just think then, I didn't know what sport, but I was kind of like, then I was like, if that's, I guess you are performing as an athlete, but if that's something like it is,
I want in.
I want spoonfuls of that.
How good's that?
Yeah.
So one question about your basketball, bit off topic because we've touched on it before, mixed teams up until...
I think it must have been about 10.
10?
Yeah, 11.
Were there girls? You said you went on to the senior team. Were there full girls teams? Did they, looking at where basketball is now for girls and how unbelievable it is in our country and across the world, was there a pathway for girls back then?
Did it. Yeah, they did it. They put the girls, not as many numbers, because we're coming from a time also where in the 90s, it's netball.
Yeah, true.
Girls,
netball's
peak for them. That's the one great thing about basketball now. There's the avenues and options for our girls. It's just amazing. But yeah, then they had the little girls division as well. Not as many numbers.
Yeah, but they had an opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. All right. So then back to how far's Anthony Peach. I should have asked you at the very start. Any other nicknames growing up? Was it always Peach? Because there's three of you.
Ant.
Ant.
That was it.
I never knew that.
Ant.
There you go.
So like if I went back to Tenterfield,
it's just Ant.
That's it.
Because you're three brothers. It can't all be Peach.
No.
So what's the older brother nickname for your older brother?
No. Well, he's just Brent. If I want to roll with the name.
The first name.
Well, yeah. Damo.
Aussies are pretty original, to be fair. We don't go too far.
I didn't get it till I sort of left home. But I was Ant. Like if you went home, anyone would just be like Ant. And they tried Tony. My own children have come back to Tony. But my uncle was Tony. He shortened to Tony.
Sure.
But no, just Ant.
Okay, so Ant or Peach, you'd answer to both of those. All right, well, Ant, back in Inverell, how far he's come up and he's watched the game at Boondall, Tigers versus Bullets.
Yeah.
Come down now, watch the Gold Coast Rollers, which since folded, but hopefully could be back in. How far are you from playing NBL?
A long way.
Long way. In every aspect, physically?
Yeah. I think we were super lucky. So my middle brother, Damo, just really, really talented sportsman.
Okay. Let's delete that off the app. Yeah, so he doesn't hear that.
Don't delete that.
Okay.
But not only am I suffering as the younger brother,
Of course.
I'm also dealing with probably the best in the district at cricket, rugby league, and basketball, mate. So I'm like every afternoon,
every day, relentless,
up against it.
Yeah.
And he's a dog of a competitor.
Yeah.
So wanted none of me doing anything. So he was kind of, we went to a couple of little satellite carnivals with Tenterfield basketball team. Yeah. And I would back up and play in their team as a young fella. So an age group out of my depth. And a guy called Bruce Lennon from Grafton, wore thongs, big beard, sees this kid from Tenterfield playing basketball at the Grafton Basketball Carnival and says, "Who is that?" And it was my brother, Damo. Fast forward, they get him in the New South Wales country team. And he comes up here to the Gold Coast in 1996 and he plays in the Northern Championships for New South Country with kids from Newcastle, Gosford. And again, we're just like, what are we doing here? And then, Inverell get in contact, Inverell basketball, because Tenterfield couldn't field enough teams to play in the division.
How far is Inverell for Tenterfield?
Hour 45.
Oh, geez, big drive still.
Hour 45. And they used New South Country basketball, Inverell, down the belt, Lismore had a team, Balance, Grafton, Cossabo, Port Macquarie, Taree, Singleton, Newcastle, Gosford. So, and Tamworth. So they get in contact and they want Damo. He's in under 16s at this stage. And my dad says, I got a young fella. He's under 14s. He said, you got any space for him? And Chris Bailey was away. Phil and Chris Bailey both played in
Yeah.
Chris Bailey was a terrific young basketball player. He was actually away doing a bit of footy. And they said, but he can fill in. So I played, I think, 7 games of under 14s that year for Inverell. And that started my journey then of Inverell, amazing people. It was an hour 45 to a home game. Yeah. Or some weekends we go on 7 hours one way.
Huge drive.
To lose by about 50 or 60 Newcastle.
Yeah.
Get belted.
Coughs, big city.
Just get belted and then put it on repeat and drive all the way home. So again, Mum and Dad wouldn't get home till 1, 2 a.m. Monday morning. Yeah. But that then, Inverell, just incredible community, incredible people at basketball. And that then put me in the realm of making a New South Wales country team.
In the mix.
Bit more exposure then, because that was like another stepping stone to then getting to those teams to then sort of move forward with it. So, as I sort of got older and got exposed, because I see kids all the time, they, especially from the bush, they go play a team and they get dusted. Yeah. And all it is they're just never been exposed to that level.
That's right.
What do you like next time you come back?
How do you get back to that level?
What do you the next time you come back after that? And then you don't know till you know.
Exactly.
So you think, I think I'm doing fine in Tenterfield. think I'm doing fine in the Inverell team. Then you go away and play Newcastle.
And then it's like
you felt you never played.
Yeah.
You can't even get the ball over halfway.
Yeah.
So, but again, that feeling of feeling hopeless at something is an awful feeling.
Yeah, awful.
When you think you're going okay.
Yeah.
But all it is just a reset button to let you know that's the level.
Yeah. Yeah. Consciously incompetent, that's the word for it. You're consciously completely incompetent. It's a great state to be in because you know what you have to do to become competent. Yeah. Well, that's the end of part A. Let's roll a tape on part B.